Serves you right. Stocky. Oh no. Poor Stocky. Guys, yeah, the game is cool, but this streamer makes it amazing. Thank you so much, Bobby. I appreciate that. What did Stocky say? Someone is censoring him. Yeah. They sure are.
So that's why we have moderators, to censor people who say bad things. I don't know what he said, though. So, I don't know. Believe it or not. But people like chat that is clear and clean of bad things. They appreciate that. They're going to have an actual conversation here, which is what we want to foster. Is actual loving, kind conversations between gamers. It's a community, you know? It's like, it's one of those things, right? Where it's like, we can have people just sitting there spamming chat, making it impossible for anyone to actually have an intelligent conversation. You're gonna have people, you know, sitting there saying words that are offensive to people, and that'll, you know, people don't like that either, you know? I mean, I don't know what the guy said. I honestly don't. I'm just playing a game. But, you know, I mean, like, believe it or not, moderation is very good. Hashtag like Spike, says Angry Matt. Guys, thank you so much. That's a good point, Angry Matt. Angry Matt says, yo, guys, if you guys enjoy watching this content, don't forget to hit that like button and tell other people to check out this awesome stream. If you think it's awesome, you know, that'd be cool. And while you're doing that, if you're new to the channel and you want to watch more No Man's Sky content as we try to solve the mysteries of the universe, you might want to subscribe. We certainly would love to see more of you if you'd like to see more of us, so there's always that. Can you speak deep into the mic? Why do you want me to get deep into the mic? Charlie Gilruth. My voice cracked. Charlie Gilruth? Why? Why? No, yeah, why? Yeah, these cave formations on this planet are awesome. I love these. These are so cool. Oops. Uh-oh. Well, I screwed that up, didn't I? There we are. Hey! Got me some knowledge. Theta. Incoming storm. Oh no! What on earth am I going to do? I haven't the faintest idea. I feel like I should be nervous and scared, but I'm not. The answer is 42. The answer is 42. Is it time for the Singapore story? It might be time for the Singapore story. Alright. So Singapore, by the way. Singapore is actually a very beautiful country. And in some ways, oh boy, did they have money to spend on infrastructure. Don't think of Singapore as a poor place. It is not. Oh my gosh, this place will blow your socks off. Like their transit systems, their subway systems and things like that are absolutely incredible. I mean, incredible. And you're like, why don't we have things like this in the United States? That's because we don't spend money on nice things. These people do. And that's the first thing I remember about Singapore, is that, man, their mass transit was amazing. Their subways were nice and clean, and the way you paid for it and got on the train, and you know how clear everything was and clean everything was. It felt like, honestly, it felt like Tomorrowland. Now bear in mind, this was like 8 years ago that I was there, so I don't know how it is today. But yeah, back then I distinctly remembering, whoa, this place is from the future. Which is odd, because, you know, everybody always thinks is America or the United States having like the best stuff. We don't. We don't. And so that's the first thing I remembered about Singapore. Now, Singapore has this place that the guys in the Navy are very familiar with. It's a mall that is 4 floors tall. And during the day, you can get custom-made suits and jewelry and all sorts of things. But at night, you go there for completely different reasons. And so we went there during the day. And, you know, there was a fairly legit massage parlor there. Got a nice massage. And the lady there took a bit too much interest in me. Me being married, I didn't appreciate it. It was an interesting massage, to say the least. I already told that story a while back, so I'm not going to tell it again. But this is the same day that I had that interesting encounter with the lady there. Didn't care much for it. Anyways, so the and not only that, but I don't think it's that late yet. But so we were looking for a place to eat, and we thought that, yo, this place has 4 floors. It's a shopping mall. We clearly see plenty of places to buy suits and things. There must be a place to get some food. And it was right about that time, about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. We were trying to get some dinner, I think. And so it was about that time, like sort of the twilight, if you will, before the place turned into what it turned into at night. And we walked through these double doors, me and my group of friends, Dan included. Dan was there. We walked through these double doors, and when we opened the doors and we looked through, it was this huge club. And there was about 25, 30 tables throughout the club. They had pool tables there, and man, this place looked awesome. It was a club. And we're like, wow. But we weren't like, wow, because of the club. At every table, there were 6 chairs. 4 of them were occupied. Every table, 4 of them were occupied. We opened the doors, and in 4 chairs at every table, there was a woman. We literally opened the door and found, I'm not kidding, several hundred women. Several hundred? Let's just say about 100 women. Sitting in these chairs at these tables. And, oh boy. Well, it was weird. There was not a single dude in sight. The only guy was behind the bar. It looked like we were the first customers of the day. And at every table, there was 4 girls, about 25, 30 tables. And we all just kind of looked at each other. We've never seen that before. Like that was weird to us, all right? We were new, we were young. It was our first time in Singapore, and we've heard of this place. This place was called 4 Floors. 4 Floors. Ah. We got it. We've heard of this place told to us by way of tale from those sailors who had been in the Navy a little longer than others. Singapore is a common destination for Navy ships to stop at, and everybody who goes there has the story of the 4 floors of whores. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. At night, every floor has clubs on 3 sides of the building, and every club is filled to the brim with whores. Or the more kinder term, prostitute. And, when our friends and I saw it, we were just amazed. Like the place of myth and legend, the place we never thought existed. It's like we found like the land of milk and honey. It was like we found Valhalla. And we were just picture us, 4 dudes, opened these 2 double doors into this massive club filled with women everywhere, no one else. And all of these women turned to look at us. They all turned to look at us. And it was the most uncomfortable thing to open doors to. Oh my gosh. We turned around and left. We opened the door. All these women turned to look at us, and we turned around and we left. And we're like, us being the new guys, we're like, that doesn't look like a comfortable place to eat, because there was just all of these women, and they were looking at us like they were all like, like waiting to just jump on us. We thought we were going to be eaten alive, and it was like, whoa, what the heck is this? So we all left, and we went to go get dinner somewhere. And while we were at a dinner, we ran into a couple of dudes who had been to Singapore before. And we told them what we found, and they're like, oh, you found 4 floors, huh? Yeah, we found 4 floors. And the guy was like, what do you think? And we were like, man, it was creepy as hell. We told him what happened. And the dude was like, I have never been there at opening, when they open. I always go there a few hours after they open, so I've never had that experience. That was a rare experience. So I've never seen that at 4 floors. I'm like, really? Yeah, man. There's so many women there. And the dude's like, well, I'll tell you what, right now there's probably people there, so if you guys want to go back, and if you just want to go for a cool place to chill and have a beer or two and play some pool, that's a fun place to go. And if that's what you want, but I'm going there for the main attraction. Now again, I'm married. I'm hanging out with a few guys. They're young. They've never been there before. Hold on. And thus the Sentinel Horde congregated in the dark places of the void. There they watched the in-between nothingness, the blackness of space. They waited beyond the limits of the outer edge. As millennia passed, they replenished, growing a force to return their order for countless ages. Reliki Hitad, he goes, I'm confused. There was 4 floors and you left? You try opening the door to a place and have over 100 women turn, look at you and be like, hey, all at once. I'm just saying, it's a little weird. Okay, it's a little weird. And I'll tell you why my suspicions were correct and why you should definitely not go to the 4 floors. So the guy's like, let's go back. And I'm like, okay, let's go back. So me and my 4 buddies and these 2 guys who have been to Singapore before, we all go back. And again, I'm a married man. I'm not looking for that kind of thing. And so we get there and we start playing pool. The other guys who went there to do what they said they came there to do, they went their own little way. And while we were sitting down playing pool, Dan, love Dan so much. Dan's great. Dan goes off, and we're like, where's Dan? I don't know where Dan went. So we're sitting there playing pool, having a good time, but Dan went someplace. We don't know where he went. And then the next thing we know, Dan comes back. It's about half an hour later, Dan comes back. And he comes back with this girl that he's hanging out with. And this girl had an Adam's apple. Okay? I need a beer. This girl had an Adam's apple. And she's sitting on his lap. And, we're like, yo, Dan, And he's like, yeah, man. It's like, what are you doing? He goes, oh, no, man, just hanging out with this girl, you know, she's cool, blah, 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 I'm having a good old time, and like, you know, blah, 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 blah. And we're like, well, that's great, Dan, but, she wasn't always a girl. And we pointed out the fact that she had an Adam's apple. And, you know, some other manly features that he had. Including a bulge. We pointed that out to him, to Dan. And Dan, you know, he's not looking for that kind of experience. Trust me. He was a virgin. Anyways, so Dan wasn't looking for that kind of experience. And, I don't think he really knew what he was getting himself into. And it became very apparent to us that he was drunk. He was very drunk. And so we were just kind of like, oh. So there's nothing we can do to talk him out of this. Dude is drunk beyond recognition. Dude's got a wad of money in his pocket. And this girl had probably seen it. And by the way, I'm saying girl and not boy or man because I actually respect people who decide to transition for whatever reason. It's okay, guys. She's a girl. Now, she just had some extra anatomy. That's all. But so you know, he's drunk out of his mind. And Dan's like, yo man, we're you know, she wants to take me up to her room. There's like a hotel on the roof. There's a hotel on the roof. Yeah, man. I'm like, how much does the hotel cost? And he goes, oh, he tells me it's something like $45, not for the night, for the hour. I said, Dan, you're not paying for the room. You're paying for the hooker. And Dan's like, no, man, it's totally legit, man. That's just how they do things in Singapore. And I'm like, no, Dan. No, it's not. And Dan, hint, you don't spend $45 for a lady. Typically, you don't purchase ladies. That would be advised. You just don't do that. But if you were to do it, $45 is not the price you should pay. Fair warning. And then he goes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, boy, is he going to be surprised. And so finally, I just said, yo. And he goes, what? Do you have a condom? And so I'm like, I ain't going to stop him. Do you have a condom? Do you at least have a condom? Please say yes. He says yes, that he has a condom. I'm like, okay. I turn around to shoot some pool, and when I look back to find him, he's gone. And the girl is nowhere to be found. So, we're like, well, I guess he went up with her. Checked our watches. We're like, okay, that's the time he left. So, how long do you think he's got? Some dude's like, I give him 5 minutes. He'll be running back down here in a hurry. I said, I think it might take him a little longer, you know, to get to that much business. So, maybe it'll take him, I said it'll take him about 20 minutes. And then the other guy was like, no, I think 10 minutes is right. An hour and a half goes by. An hour and a half goes by. I don't care who you're with. An hour and a half is a long time. And at that point, we don't know where this dude is. It's getting late. We have a curfew because we're young. We were low ranking, so we had a curfew. We had to be back home by a certain time. And he was just gone far too long. And, you know, I looked at my Liberty buddy. I'm like, yo, he's my Liberty buddy. Dan ain't my Liberty buddy. I'm like, I'm going back to the ship. And the other guy that was with me was like, look, I'm not getting in trouble because of Dan. So I'm going to go back to the ship with you, and you guys can vouch for me. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Dan took off. We'd have no clue where he went. We waited, and we looked for him. We don't know what happened to the guy. No clue what happened to the guy. We get back to the ship right in time. I mean, like, if we had missed the bus, which we were just right in time for. Yo, what was that? Yo, did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? What was that? I think that was the old monolith I visited. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's what it was, but we'll go check it out. Let's go check it out. So while I'm walking this general, I'm pretty sure it's the old monolith I visited, but yo, that was weird. So, we get back to the ship, we're right in time. And, what the fuck was that? And he's like, we don't know where he is. And so, we report in and we tell them, like, yo, this was Dan's Liberty Buddy. We tell them what happened. And they're like, okay, we'll make note of it. And, don't worry, you're in the clear. Dan did something stupid. Don't worry about it, dude. You're not in trouble. So the other guy who was Dan's Liberty Buddy didn't get in trouble. He's fine. He's in the clear. We go to bed that night because, we got a whole other day in port the next day,